Greetings and salutations. I am the Raven. This is Death and Taxes. Joining me is Savant.
Where we have begun the epic prank wars that will never be resolved.
And JKLantern.
Do any of the pranks involve fire?
Eventually, probably.
Well, this suit is pretty smoking.
Nice. Because if there's anything I've learned from years of playing Legend of Zelda, if all else fails, use fire.
They waited for you to let the guard down, whispering, "Look, it's the pathetic run."
And of course, this voice in our head is not helpful.
Everyone
The leprechaun tells me to burn things.
You're
Burn them all.
That's why no one likes you. No one respects you. Keep them guessing, and watch your back, Reaper.
This is just a paranoia and depression talking. Nice, but no.
Yeah, that's kind of what I went with last night.
Yeah, that was Death God V right there.
It kind of messes with my eyes, that.
Now we have V, the punk god of death.
The death metal god.
Yep.
And 8 profiles today.
The up and coming athletes under trial for manslaughter of 2 rivals. Game developer struggles with getting multi-sensual gaming experience to work. Mostly feels like bullets are crawling over your skin.
Yeah.
Be a warranted superstar racer, blah blah blah, dies from thousands of bee stings. My god!
Bees!
My god! A deadly bee weapon. Government
The bee department's gonna be busy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Government attempts to pass law that punishes bees for being murderers. You know, I could actually see that happening.
Yeah.
The physical fitness of children's improving with each year. Coalition throws 2 subway trains off elevated tracks. Both operators dead. Chauffeur dies as a vehicle gets rammed off the road. Local cheesemaker found dead in factory next to world's oldest cheese with several bite marks. Kikyo strikes again. Live streamer found dead under mysterious circumstances. Fashion firm reports records earnings, promises to spread wealth around, but just a little bit. Microscale steam mechanics could lock access to a brand new dimension and probably destroy the world.
Woo!
I mean, we're already doing that.
Yep.
And 6 have to die. At least 3 humans with scientific background have to die. At least 2 aides 30 or younger have to die. Geology. That's scientific. The steam mechanics.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Yep, they want to make the micro steam.
How does micro steam break the world? I kind of want to know.
We will not find out this run.
Hacker.
Damn.
We just killed that person off.
Online alias Cryptomancer was inspired to become an IT specialist hacker by reading old cyberpunk novels. They were arrested and banned from using computers for 15 years after they crashed the stock market. They're still very interested in modern cryptographic algorithms. She meets the 30 older. come back to that one.
Smuggler. You might want to turn off the lamp so you can read the profiles.
This is the thing Tress was... There's the thing he won't smuggle in or out of the country. Whatever it is, I find a way. Drugs, guns, endangered animals, antiques. No scruples, no hidden principles. Dead.
Because we have to kill 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it actually tells us anything until the second
I think
run.
you have to grab. Yeah, you have to grab the marker.
Oh, okay, there we go.
And it doesn't tell you anything till after you mark it.
Yeah.
Except on the next run, it will. If you've already marked it, it will tell you what the outcome was.
Yeah.
Astrology, Somlist, Scam Artist, Sous Chef, Asteroid Hunter.
Time to play asteroids.
Or not.
Nope.
Check the sous chef and see if it's a good sous chef.
They could be stealing the cheese.
Yeah.
It's a hive as in style in culinary world, vigorously executing the head chefs with an iron fist and a brass mouth, and the workers' daydreams of their tragic demise. They get their wish.
So, in other words, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay only choose them out if they're bad. And,
Yeah, but still.
And they should know better.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Good evening, Grim. I hope you are doing well. I forgot to ask you yesterday, how did it feel going through almost a whole week on your own? Just so. Even we
So
cannot
how
stop the
does it
constant
feel?
advance of time. Well, let us
It
quickly
feels
go
like
over
victory.
administrative matters.
I think it feels
I
like the
see you
opposite of
marked the
victory at this
appropriate
point.
number of profiles. Yay.
It feels like ham.
Honestly, this corporate mandate is growing
I
a
don't
bit
know.
tiresome.
Ham might be victory.
Oh well.
Hammer Hamza.
It feels like tofu.
Yesterday marked a significant moment in your career.
Oh god, so
Content with your evaluation.
Oh god, I reminded you of a story with that.
Oh,
yes you did.
God
So
damn it!
take it as
so an old coworker of mine was vegetarian,
this reminds
and she actually one day brought in some
it is. What do you mean?
TVP, textured vegetable protein, and
Oh, nothing of the sort.
these are used as meat substitutes, and they can be flavored in a variety of ways. And so she brought in one that was designed to be a substitute for chicken, and so she had us try it, and it was kind of like designed as a chicken nugget almost. And I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was a very strange experience for two reasons. First of all, and this is basically what you hear whenever you hear anybody eating TVP anything, whether it's like a TVP burger or a TVP steak, the texture is just off. Like, they haven't quite nailed down the texture for meat, so it's like slightly spongier and it breaks in a different way. But the thing that was even weirder, I bite into this thing, and I think to myself, this tastes like chicken. In fact, this tastes a little too much like chicken. This tastes more like chicken than chicken. This is deeply suspicious.
How's that possible?
I don't know. but it was the weirdest bit of sorcery ever.
You are a death spawn.
But was the texture still good?
Like, it wasn't chickeny. It was all right. Like, I would definitely pick regular chicken over the PvP chicken, but I could definitely eat it again. It's like, okay, if you're not eating meat, this is definitely better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Anything else? Until tomorrow, Grim.
But yeah, like the weirdest thing about it was like, this somehow tastes more like chicken than actual chicken does. What the hell is happening?
You know, oddly enough, that reminds me of it's not really all that related, but it reminds me of a story I had way back in the 90s.
You have
When I was just a line worker
your
at a circuit board factory.
every passing moment.
And,
Soon we'll
there
do
was
mere
one
growth
guy
beside your
who came to
blazing
work there, and I'm only mentioning this because it is pseudo-relevant to the story, and you know, we didn't judge him or anything based on it, but the dude was a devout
We can see
Muslim.
through your shell, you imposter.
Wait,
Okay,
you find
which-
those?
Yeah, you know, no problem there.
Yep.
But the thing is, he was also one of the biggest jerks.
Already getting a
Oh.
bit
Oh.
Because he was one of those that believed in the devout patriarchy of things.
Ugh.
And he was also a line worker on the factory. So one of the jobs you have to do as a line worker in a factory, you have to sweep the floor and you have to clean your station and all this.
Yeah.
And he was one of those that go, men don't clean.
Ahoy! A pleasure to see ye again.
When our direct supervisor was a woman, and that didn't go over well. So I mention this because it's relevant to the next part. One day, we were eating lunch in the cafeteria, and he pulls out a ham sandwich.
Ooh.
Out of
Ooh.
this is something he brought from home. Ham sandwich. So, most of us went, ham sandwich? Aren't you devout Muslim? He goes, yes. That's ham. He goes, yeah, it's ham. Ham's good. I went, but ham is pork. He goes, no, it's ham.
Oh my god.
And
Oh
we
my
could not
God.
convince him. We could not convince this dude that ham came from a pig. We could not convince him of this.
I can even point out the part of the pig it is.
Yes, but he just sat there and ate his ham sandwich like nothing on. I was like, oh, okay.
Why not?
We've had a couple of Muslim people work where I work, and one of the teachers, like during Ramadan, she would fast during the day, and this teacher, very small, she was the one who got angry with me about the cereal box being on the top shelf that one time. Yeah, it's that teacher. So I can't remember what the lunch was that day during Ramadan, but she comes in, she looks at the lunch. Like, I think it was mac and cheese with chicken in it or something. But it was, like, her favorite lunch. She looks at the lunch. She looks at me. She looks back at the lunch. You son of a bitch. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? This is literally my job. I have to... Whether you're fasting or not, I have to serve this. I'm sorry.
I can see why there were unresolved tensions around cereal boxes.
Yeah, the cereal box thing was entirely on me. It's like, oh, sorry, forgot that I'm gigantic and you were like 5'0".
I can see how it felt. I can see how she might have felt like you were taunting her with the cereal boxes in conjunction with that.
Yeah, I mean, these were two things that happened like 6 months apart, but I'm doing shit in the kitchen at any given time. Like, I have 1.5 million things to do. So like, she came in and was like, "Can I have cereal?" And it's like, I'm trying to get lunch done. It's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Go grab some. It's not gonna cause me any problems." Ahem. All right, sorry, my bad. Let me let me grab that for you, because you're tiny.
But yeah, like I said, I can see how the two combinations could make her feel a bit like you were picking on her.
Yeah,
Grand. A reaper demanding its due.
she was a cool teacher.
You would just have to.
I'm surprised you didn't find yourself the target of many pranks from her, though.
Well,
Just for those two instances.
She was too busy being in a prank war with another teacher.
Ah.
The one who had his car viciously armied upon years later. Yeah, Dylan would prank like everybody and anybody. God, that actually reminds me. So short Muslim teacher and 2 other teachers were in the preschool room for like 7 years straight. It was like we nicknamed them the Dream Team because we were like, they will never be broken up. Spoilers, they wound up being broken up when a couple of the teachers left to go on to other things. Anyway, but like them and Dylan were just constantly in a prank war, and one day Dylan comes into the kitchen and he has a gorilla mask. He puts it on. He goes over to the walk-in fridge, turns to me and goes, "Don't say anything." And I go, "Okay, I have to serve lunch anyway. I've got other shit to do." So like I'm doing things for lunch, and one of the first preschool teacher was tiny Muslim, and she needs something in the fridge, and she's like, I'm gonna go look in there. I'm like, "Okay, fine, whatever." Oh my god! I'm like, "All right, so that's why he's doing that." Duly noted. Another teacher from preschool comes in. She needs something distinctly different from the fridge. I don't remember why. And so she goes in. "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Uh-huh. Dylan, are you just gonna be there until all 3 of them come through?" "Yep." "Oh, okay, man." The third one is the best one, because she comes in and she needs something from the fridge. I can't, again, don't remember what. She opens the fridge, but while she's doing that, she's asking me something. So she's not looking in the fridge. So Dylan is standing there with the gorilla mask, just trying to be scary. And the teacher is talking to me. And she's talking to me. And she's continuing to talk to me. And at this point, Dylan just kind of like has his arms crossed. He's tapping his foot. He's like looking at his watch like, "Come on, turn around." It's like a solid 2 or 3 minutes of conversation before the teacher turns and looks, "Oh, have you been standing there this whole time?"
Methinks the other teachers warned her.
No, they didn't. They made a point of not warning her because they were like, "Bitch, we have to suffer through this. So do you."
Remind me, are you still showing these videos to your co-workers?
I'm generally not, although I think one of them occasionally will track him down and watch. The one who watches knows like none of these people because he's a comparatively new hire. Like,
I think I have reached a conclusion. Appreciate it. Now, you might find this shocking.
you might find this shocking,
I have decided to set
but
up-
I am not wearing any pants behind this desk.
I shall compose
That
a
wouldn't be
novel
shocking.
most illustrious. One that will express
I know in at least one of my dad's Zoom meetings for the university, he was wearing like suit coat, suit shirt,
You must
tie,
learn to appreciate fine
bathing suit.
culture. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
official
if you
business.
don't have to wear the pants.
Exactly.
Nothing amiss here, as far as I can see. Your adherence to the rules is admirable. Now I bid thee
You get the
goodbye.
impression that Fate is
We
getting
hope
tired
you
of the
enjoyed
job.
the greatest novel of all
Little
time
bit, little bit.
tonight.
It does
I'm
seem
sh-
to be wearing a bit.
I'm sure absolutely nothing will go wrong with this.
Yeah, I mean, that's nothing. People get tired of jobs all the time.
Yep.
It's just a phase. Fate will find a hobby, refresh himself,
What you up to?
and everything go back to normal.
Definitely.
Sure you are. The suffering. How many lives have you taken? Do you even count? Starting to look a bit grim, ain't it?
There was one
I guess
person
that's already in
we
the
worked
name.
with at one factory
Grim.
who was not liked by anybody. This is a different factory, so completely different set. But this
Yeah.
guy,
Believe it's for a good
this guy was the epitome of I know it all,
It's not as if life and death are correct.
and definitely did not. He
So,
was the epitome of the mansplainer.
oh god, sounds familiar.
So, except he explained to everybody.
Yeah.
So he was still annoying either way, but he was like, he always knew exactly what you were talking about and knew something better about it than you did. Something like that, you know, one of those.
Yeah.
So one year,
Dear mate has a tragic
I
fate.
pranked him
You ever hear of the deal?
by loosening every single cable on his workstation,
There we are.
Nice.
Celebrating the fact
prying all the keys on the keyboard off,
buried under a mountain of empty bottles.
and moving them one key to the right,
Oh,
and then just taking some blanks and filling in the far left row, because he had one of those keyboards where the caps lock and tab and shift and all that weren't separate, weren't differently
Yeah.
spaced. They were just the same small rectangles. So I placed a row of blanks at the far left and just moved everything over to the right, except for, you know, the enter keys. I went and hid those in the desk drawer.
Nice.
He could not figure out what had happened to his computer. Because it was just a series of it was just like a cascade failure for him. Because not only had I done that, just to be extra petty, then he had one of those little office chairs that rolls around. I went in and actually taped his wheels. So they
Nice.
would roll with clear packing tape, so you couldn't see it unless you actually bent down to look. All he knew is his chair wasn't rolling anywhere, his mouse wasn't responding, his monitors weren't responding. He was tapping keys on the keyboard, nothing because I detached his monitors. I loosened them up to the point where they were just kind of still looked like they were plugged in, but they weren't. The keyboard was the same way, the mouse was the same way, except he had a laser mouse. You know, a wireless mouse. I pulled out the battery and put it back in backwards.
This is
And
dedication.
it was also one of those that had like the roller ball on top.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was one of those. So then, after I did that, I went in and I put tape over the sensors that sense the roller ball. And so it couldn't actually pick up any signature from the ball rolling around, but you wouldn't know it unless you pulled up the ball and looked. Because it didn't actually affect the ball rolling.
I see the exact
This
amount
guy,
of
and the thing was, he worked first shift and I worked second shift. So I had access to his desk for 8 uninterrupted hours while he was gone.
Nice.
question.
I spent it all just doing things like this and then taping
Trouble finding
all of his stuff in place on his desk
Perhaps your question
with just
is
more
consistent.
clear packing tape.
Make sure they are.
So he literally spent 4 hours
Idea.
putting his workstation back together. And then even after that, he still couldn't figure out that I'd moved his keys on his keyboard, so he couldn't log in, and he locked himself out of his account. And see, the thing was, with that guy, nobody noticed he wasn't working
Not in the sense that humans.
because he didn't really do much anyway, except complain.
Mm-hmm.
Grim.
So He sat there, he spent
That is
4
just
hours doing this,
stupid.
and I came in, second shift begins as first shift in, so I came in, and it's like, God damn it, you son of a bitch, what did you do? I'm like, me? I didn't do anything. He goes, I know it was you! Why? Why do you know it was me?
Make do with what they have.
And he knew it was me. Everyone knew it was me, but he had no proof because nobody saw me doing anything to his desk. Except for the people that did and wouldn't admit to seeing me do anything to
The
it.
people who didn't care anyway.
I saw nothing. We see you doing nothing. That's what we see.
Goodbye, Grim.
So that was like one of the greatest minutes. This guy just exploded on me for 10 minutes.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what Yuck will be saying if she's still around.
That is so appropriately titled as Pain Apple.
Yeah.
This works in several ways.
It still worked for Sias, though, until I get the robe in the bush.
Sias.
Yeah, we had Sias, the death god, for a bit, too.
So, yes. It's that time again. This has been Death and Taxes. I've been the Raven. These two have been the Practical Jokers to be watching out for at work if you're one of those people who just does not get along with other people. Otherwise, JKLantern, Surot, say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Until next time, be good, be well, or we come and get you. Bye.
Later.
Later.